Let's make Mexican spaghetti for under $10. We are going to need 1 pound of ground beef, 1 large potato, russet potato. I have small ones, so I'm going to use 3 small russet potatoes. A bag of the Fideo pasta, about half an onion. This one's really large, so I'm going to use about 1/4 of it. 1 small can of tomato sauce. This is the other half from a few days ago. Garlic seasoning, some chicken bouillon, and some tomato bouillon. I have the tomato cubes, so that's all I'm going to be. First, brown your ground beef. I've diced up my potatoes into small, like little bite-sized pieces, and I chopped up my onion, and my ground beef is done browning. So I'm going to drain the ground beef and just put it in my bowl with my potatoes, because then I'll add it together later and then get the onions. I'm basing this recipe off of OK Jess here on TikTok. She calls it a non-traditional Mexican spaghetti, and so this is kind of what we're doing. She did add green bell peppers with her onions, but we're not a bell pepper family, so I'm just doing the onions. I'm deviating a little bit, but for the most part, this recipe, my onions are almost completely sauteed, so I'm going to go ahead and add 1 bag of Fideo pasta. This stuff is like 50 cents at the store. And then let the pasta toast a little bit. It takes about 4 to 5 minutes. You'll start to see it kind of turn a little brown color. Once your pasta has been toasted, go ahead and add that 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. Again, this is only half full. Mix that in and then add 3 to 4 cups of water. While this is coming up to a boil, I'm going to add my seasoning. I don't have any tomato bouillon. I have, well, not like the loose. I've got the cubes. I'm going to add 2 cubes in. Just a little bit of garlic powder and then about a tablespoon of chicken bouillon. Once I have my seasonings all stirred in, I'm going to pour in my ground beef and my potatoes gently so it doesn't splash. Once everything's combined, bring it to a boil and then let it simmer for about 20 minutes. So our Mexican spaghetti is all done, and honestly, it looks pretty yummy. It's still super hot, but this is how much we have left after serving 2 pretty hefty portions for dinner and giving the baby some. We still have all of this, which will probably make at least lunches, like hefty lunches for both my husband and I. If you're not used to it, potatoes and pasta might sound weird because they're 2 different starches. However, it is a really good way to stretch your pennies, because that was a pretty small bag of pasta for 50 cents, and then the potatoes are pretty cheap. It was like $2 for a 5-pound bag. And so this whole meal came together pretty cheaply. I'll put the total up at the top of how much everything cost. But really the most expensive